Edexcel GCSE Maths, May 2019, Paper 1 Non-Calculator Higher Tier. Question number 1. There are only blue cubes, red cubes, and yellow cubes in a box. The table shows the probability of taking at random a blue cube from the box, color, and probability. Blue 0.2, red, we don't know, yellow, we don't know. The number of red cubes in the box is the same as the number of yellow cubes. So complete the table. So it means the probability for red and yellow must be the same. So what we need to do is, we know that all of the probabilities add up to 1. So 1 take away 0.2 gives me 0.8. Divided by 2 will give me 0.4. So 0.4 and 0.4 because they have the same probability. Part B, there are 12 cubes in the box. Work out the total number of cubes in the box. Right, so we know that the probability for blue is 0.2, or in other words, we can say 20%. So if 20% is equal to 12, in that case, we need to work out 100%. What we need to do is we can just simply times this one by 5 and times this one by 5. So it means 100% will be equal to 12 times 5 is 60. 60 cubes. Question number 2. Dion needs 50 grams of sugar to make 15 biscuits. She also needs 3 times as much flour as sugar, 2 times as much butter as sugar. So 3 times as much flour means flour will be 150 grams, and 2 times as much sugar would mean 100 grams of sugar. Dion is going to make 60 biscuits. Work out the amount of flour needed. So we are going to make 15. We know that 15 times 4 gives me 60. So it means we are going to need 4 times as much ingredients as we need at the moment for 15. Right. So we need to just work out flour. Okay. So for this one, we are going to do 150 grams times by 4, and that will give me 600 grams of flour. Part 2, Dion has to buy all the butter she needs to make 60 biscuits. She buys the butter in 250 grams bags. How many bags of butter does she need? Right, so as she needs 400 grams, so 1 bag won't be enough, so she has to buy 2 bags. I know that by doing this, she will get 100 grams extra butter, but there's no way we can't avoid buying the second one. So we need to say 2 bags of butter. Question number 3, find the highest common factor, HCF, of 72 and 90. And we will do the cherry tree things. First of all, we would like to write them as product of their prime factors, and then we'll see the common factors and multiply them together. Right, so 2 and 36, 2 will be circled, and it's a prime number, but not 36. 2 and 18, 2 will be circled again, and it's a prime number. 2 and 9, 2 will be circled again, not 9. And 9 can be written as 3 times 3, so 3 and 3. Right, when it comes to 90, we have to say 2 and 45. 2 will be circled again, and the tree stops there. Okay, and on 45 side it continues. Okay, and it does not go in 45, so 3 times 15, and then 3 and 5. Right, so if we see what is common between, what factors are common. First of all, if we write 70 equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. And if we write 90 equals 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. Right, so what factors are common? I can see 2 is common between them. Okay, and also 3 is common, and also another 3 is common. Okay, so to work out HCF, what we need to do is just the common factors, we should multiply them together. So 2 times 3 times 3. And 2 times 3 is 6, and 6 times 3 is 18. So 18 is the largest number that can divide exactly both 72 and 90. Question number 4. The diagram shows the plan, front elevation, and side elevation of a solid shape drawn on the centimeter grid. It's plan. Plan is like bird eye view, is circular face. Front and side elevations are rectangulars, okay, or are rectangles. Okay, in the space below, draw the sketch of the solid shape. Right, so I would think that this is a cylinder, okay, and let me draw sort of it's both like top and bottom of this one, okay, and then I need to draw the lines to connect them. Right, not very perfect, but I would say sort of okay. And also the line needs to be slightly in. Okay. Right, so right, so what is its, like it says, give its dimensions as well. I can see that the diameter of this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, and its height should be like even like this way. You can see it's 4. So basically, we can say that its diameter is 4. This thing is 4 centimeters. 4 centimeters. And what about the height of cylinder? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's why I would say its height is 5 centimeters. Question number 5. Shape A can be transformed to shape B by reflection in the x-axis followed by yard translation. But first of all, the shape is reflected. So if this is reflected, I can see that this one is to above, and then this one is then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need to go 2 down there, and 2 down, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I need to just join these points up. So the shape is first reflected. So after the reflection, the shape will look like this. And now this shape has actually, I can see the shape has translated after this. So if the shape is translated after this, I can see how many units. Let's say if I think of this point and this point, okay, I can see that this point has actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the left, okay, and also I can see it has moved 1 down, okay, 6 left, 1 down. How can we write this in vector form? As it's a negative, like as it's a movement to the negative x direction, so that's why we write -6. Okay, so the value of c is -6, and the value of, and then it has moved down, not up, so that's why it's -1. So C and D. C is 6 and D is -1. Question number 6. A shop sells packs of black pens, packs of red pens, and packs of green pens. There are two pens in each pack of black pens, 5 pens in each pack of red pens, 6 pens in each pack of green pens. On Monday, number of packs of black pens, ratio number of packs of red pens, ratio number of packs of green pens sold is equal to 7 ratio 3 ratio 4. A total of 212 pens were sold. Work out the number of green pens sold. Right, one of the common mistakes many students can make here, they can think of dividing 212, because this is the total number of pens, by the sum of this, which is the sum of these ratios, which will give me 7 add 3 is 10, 10 add 4 is 14. So many of the students would try to divide it by 14. 212 cannot be divided exactly by 14. What's the reason? Because the main thing here is that at the moment the ratio is given about the ratio is about packs, okay? And the final piece of information is like 212 pens. That's not packs. So first of all, we need to work out what's the ratio of the pens that are sold. Okay, so as we can see that there are 7 packs of black pens and there are 2 pens in each black pack. So I need to times this one by 2. Okay, and then there are 5 pens in each pack of red pens. And for the red it's 3, so times it by 5. Okay, and 6 pens in each pack of green pens, so we need to times it by 4. So the ratio of pens, not packs of pens, will be 7 times 2 will be 14. Ratio 3 times 5 will be 15, and then 6 times 4 will be 24. And now we need to work out the sum of ratio. 14 add 15 is 29, 29 add 24 is 53. So what we need to do is, now we need to divide 212 by 53, and that will give me 4. Okay, so work out the number of green pens sold. Right, for this we need to multiply 24 by 4, and we know that 24 times 4 is 96. 96 green pens. Question number 7. Here are 2 rectangles. QI is equal to 10 centimeters, so this side is 10 centimeters. BC is equal to PQ. BC is this one here, and this is same as this one here. Okay, PQ. Right. And the perimeter of this one is 26. B is 26 on this side, and area of this one centimeters. And area of this one is 45 centimeters squared. We know that to work out the area of a rectangle, we do base, which is same as PQ, times by height. So we can say we go PQ times by 10 gives me 45. Divide both sides by 10. PQ will be equal to 45 divided by 10 will be 4.5 centimeters. So we know that this is 4.5 centimeters. 5 centimeters, which means that even this one is 4.5 centimeters, and even this one side here is also 4.5. 4.5 at 4.5 will give me 9. So what we need to do is we take away from 26, 9. That will give me 17. So AB add DC together, and these are opposite sides and they are exactly the same length. So we are going to divide this by 2. That will give me 8.5 centimeters. So AB is equal to 8.5 centimeters. Question 8, part A. Work out an estimate for the value of square root of 63.5 times by 101.7. If I round it to one significant figure, the most significant figure in 63.5 is 6, and the place value of this is 10. So I'll round it to the nearest 10. So this number will become 64. And if I look at the most significant figure in 101.7, that is in hundreds place. Okay, so if I round this number to the nearest 100, it will become 100. And we know that the square root of 64 is 8, and square root of 100 is 10. So 8 times the 10 is going to be 80. 2.3 to the power of 6 is equal to 148. Correct to 3 significant figures. Find the value of 0.23 to the power of 6. Correct to 3 significant figures. Right, so 2.3 to the power of this is this, but what we need to do is we need to, what we can see is that this is basically 10, like this is, we can actually write it as 2.3 divided by 10 to the power of 6. And we know that like this means 2.3 to the power of 6 and also 10 to the power of 6. 2.3 to the power of 6 will be just 148. And 10 to the power of 6 is same as 1 and 6 zeros. Okay, so basically 1 million. And if we divide 148 by 1 million, what will happen is at the moment the decimal point is there, so it needs to move how many places to the left? 6 places to the left. So 8. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the answer is going to be 0.000143. Question number 9. Work out 3.5 times by 1 3/5. Give your answer as a mixed number in its simplest form. Right. So first of all, we need to convert them to top-heavy fractions. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 and 1 is 7. 7 over 2 times by 5 times 1 is 5. Add 3 is 8 over 5. And now multiply it as we know, top multiplied by top divided by bottom times by bottom. So 7 times 8 is 56. And 2 times 5 is 10. So it's going to be 28 over 5, which can be written as as it's a top heavy fraction, we need to see how many times 5 goes in this. It goes 5 times. And remainder will be 3. So that's why we can write 5 whole number 3 over 5. Question number 10. The graph with equation 3y plus 2x equals a half and 2y minus 3x equals minus 113 over 12 have been drawn on the grid below. Use a graph to using the graph, find estimates of the solutions of the simultaneous equations. Right. What we need to do here is we need to actually see where both of these lines intersect. If I see that they are sort of intersecting here, like x coordinate should be above there and y coordinate should be here. Okay, and if you look at this carefully, this is basically 2 is there, so 2.5 is there because halfway between them. So it looks like it's halfway between 2 and 2.5. So this will be then 2.25, okay, the value of x, okay, and the value of y looks like to be, this is -1 and this -2. So halfway between them is -1.5. So it's going to be -1.1, -1.2, -1.3. So the y value is basically -1.3. Okay, so that's why the solution for this is going to be the value of x, as we said, is 2.25, and value of y is -1.3. And these are estimated values. These answers can be slightly different from the marks. Question number 11. A bus company recorded the ages and years of the people on coach A and the people on coach B. Here are the ages of 23 people on coach A. All of these values are given. We start from 41, 42 to and end at 77 and 79. Okay. Complete part A of the question. Complete the table below to show information about the ages of the people on coach A. For median, what we do is we do n plus 1. There are 23 values. So 23 add 1 is 24, divided by 2 is 12 values. 12th value will be the median. And if we see as the data is ordered, so that's why life is easy now. So 12th value is there because 11 value before 59 and 11 values after that. So my median is 59. And how can I work out lower quartile? There's one option is 1 times n. 1 times n plus 1 divided by 4. This is for Q1 TH value. And that will be basically 1 times 24 divided by 4 is 6th value. And then you can do, of course, for upper quartile, you can do 3 times n plus 1 and then divided by 4. But the easier way would be, if you look at between all of the values which are below median, the middle value will be quartile. So there are 11 values before this and 11 after this. So if I look in the 11 values, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this is in the middle because there are 5 values on this side, 5 values on this side. So my Q1 is 53 and my Q3 or upper quartile, if I look at all of the values which are above median, middle value, which will be 66. Part B, here is some information about the ages of people on coach B. So they've worked out median, lower quartile, upper quartile, least age, and the greatest age. Richard says that the people on coach A are younger than the people on coach B. Is Richard correct? Right, so at the moment I would say probably the best way to comment on this is that we need to look at the median, because median is average age. If you look at the average age of the people on coach B, that's about 70, and the median age on coach A is 59. Okay, so Richard is saying that the people on coach A are younger than coach B, so I would say yes. So I can see 59 is actually much smaller than 70. So answer should be yes. Part C, Richard says that people on coach A vary more in age than the people on coach B. Is Richard correct? Right, if I look at the difference between first and the least and greatest age, there and there, I can see 79 take away 41 is, if I take away 40, then 29, and 39, if you take it, 38 is, the range there is 38. And if I look at the range here, we can see that 85 take away 82 will give me 43. The range and the second one is higher than the coach A. as you can see by analyzing the origin data, we can see that range of ages of the people on coach A is 38, while range of ages of the people on coaches B is 43. Richard is claiming that the people on coach A vary more in age than people on B, so I would say no. And he's working out can be used as a reason. Question number 12. Here are 3 spheres. The volume of sphere Q is 50% more than the volume of sphere P. And the volume of sphere R is 50% more than the volume of sphere Q. Right, so if we just imagine that this is, say, 100%, what will be the volume of this one? The volume of this one will be 150% because 50% more. What is 50% of 150? That's 75, half of this. And if I add 150 and 75, I get 225. So the volume of this must be as compared to the original one, 225, or as compared to the second one, it will be 225%. Okay, so find the volume of P as a fraction of the volume of R. So 100 out of 225. It doesn't say simplify it, but even if you simplify it, I don't think it's going to affect it. So I can see 25 goes in the top one. That's like 4 times, and 25 goes in the bottom one 9 times. 4 9s, 100 over 225. Question 13. Given that n can be any integer such that n is greater than 1, prove that n squared minus n is never an odd number. Right, so as we can see that n squared minus n can be written as, if I factorize it, for n times 5, like n bracket n minus 1. And this means that whatever number n will be in the bracket, the number will be just 1 less than that. So basically, it's a product of 2 consecutive numbers. Okay, and if n can be any number, then 2 consecutive numbers. Whenever you think of 2 consecutive numbers, one of them will be odd and one of them will be even. So we know that odd times even always gives me even. Or if we think that the first number may be even times odd will also give me even. Okay, that's it. If we have to write down in words, we can say the product mean when you multiply 2 numbers together, the result is called product. Product of 2 consecutive numbers is always even. Question number 14, find the exact value of tan 30 times the sine 60. Give your answer in its simplest form. Right, as it's a non-calculator paper, so we need to know what's the value of tan 30, and we also need to know what's the value of sine 60. Right, so if we make a table like this with 30 degrees, 45 degrees, and 60 degrees, we can write then sine, cos, and tan. This first one will be root 1 over 2, which is of course equal to just a half, but it's better if you write root 1 over 2 because it will help us remember, because sine 30, sine 45, and sine 60, the top numbers change consistently. So this one will be root 2 over 2, and sine 60 will be root 3 over 2. And when it comes to cos, these varies like whatever sine 60 is will be cos 30. So cos 30 would be root 3 over 2, and sine will be, and cos 45 will be exactly the same. and this will be root 1 over 2 is basically a half. Okay, what we can do is we can actually just remove that square root now, right? And tan 30 will be sine, as we know that tan is equal to tan theta is equal to sine theta or sine x. In case we are using x instead of theta, divided by cos theta. Right. Stop a half divided by 3 over root 3 over 2 will give me 1 over root 3. Again, like for tan 45, these two, sine 45 and cos 45, they're exactly the same. So it would be 1. And for tan 60, we need to do sine divided by cos. So again, root 2 over 2 divided by 1 over 2 will just give me root 3. Tan 30 is 1 over root 3. And sine 60 is root 3 over 2. So here, root 3 and root 3 will get cancelled. So we will be left with 1 over 2. Question 15. The diagram shows a solid shape. The shape is a cone on top of a hemisphere. The height of the cone is 10 centimeters. The base of the cone has a diameter of 6 centimeters. The hemisphere has a diameter of 6 centimeters. Total volume of the shape is k pi centimeter cubed, where k is an integer. Work out the value of k. Right, to work out the volume of the top bit, which is the cone, what we need to do is we will say volume is equal to 1/3 times pi times pi r. Radius, if its diameter is 6, radius must be 3 squared and times by 10. And it's going to give me 3 squared is 9, 9 times 10, 90 pi over 3, and if we divide it by 3, it will be 30 pi centimeter cubed. Right, and to work out the volume of the hemisphere, bottom part of the shape, what we need to do is we need to divide this formula by 2. 4/3 divided by 2 will be 2/3. So to work out the volume of this one, we'll do 2/3 pi times by radius cubed. Diameter is 6, radius will be 3 cubed. That will give me 2 times pi. 3 cubed is 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27. 27 divided by 3 will give me 9, 9 times 2 will be 18. 18 pi centimeter cubed. And if I want to work out the total volume of both shapes, total volume will be equal to 30 pi add 18 pi, and that will give me 48 pi. So it means pi centimeter cubed. So it means k must be equal to 48. Question 16. There are 3 dials on our combination lock. Each dial can be set to one of the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3-digit number 553 is away. The dial can be set as shown in the diagram. Work out the number of different 3-digit numbers that can be set for the combination lock. Right, if I look at 553, it gives me an impression that the numbers can, any of the numbers can be in the top one, any of the numbers can be in the middle one, any of the numbers can be in the bottom one. Okay. Right, so which means for the top one, there are 5 options. For the middle one, there are 5 options. You can choose between 1 to 5, and there are even for the middle one, even for the bottom one, there are 5 options. So total number of options which are available should be 5 times 5 times 5 will be 125. Part B, how many of the possible 3-digit numbers have 3 different digits? Right, so in this case, the top one, say, for example, have 5. It's first one, you have 5 options, but in the second one, you can't use the digit you have used before, okay? So which means in the second one, you can only use 4 of the digits. And in the third one, you can't use the digit used in the first and the second one, so times by 3. So this will give me 5 times 4 is 20, 20 times 3 is 60. This one here. This is an interesting question on ratio. Moise, can you help me with this one?
Yeah, okay.
Can you turn the ratio fraction into an equation?
You can do, so you do x squared,
Yeah.
and then should you factorize the brackets?
Okay. So what should I do then? Honestly, this doesn't mean that thing. This means this ratio this is equal to this ratio this. Is that right? So this means x squared over 3x plus 5 must be equal to, do you think 2 over 1 or 1 over 2?
Is equal to 1 over 2.
1 over 2, yeah. That's right, is equal to 1 over 2. Why? Because this represents this, and this corresponds to that, and this corresponds to that, okay? And then, of course, we can multiply both sides by 2 times by 3x plus 5, which is the LCM of the denominators, okay? 2 times by 3x plus 5. And if we do this, what will we get? These two get cancelled, 2 and 2 get cancelled, so we are left with 2 times by x squared, which will be 2x squared, and that will be equal to 1 times the 3x plus 5 will give me 3x plus 5. If we take the 3x plus 5 from both sides, we'll get 2x squared minus 3x minus 5. That equals 0. And like, how can we factorize it? 2 times the minus 5, so 2 numbers should multiply to minus 10. And the same 2 numbers should add up to negative 3. So, okay, who's going to help me with this?
5 and 2. Minus 5 and
Minus 5
plus 2.
Minus 5 and plus 2, minus 5 and plus 2. That, but as one of the bracket contains 2x, how can we settle that?
It has to be 2x minus 5.
Like one of them, yeah, it has to be. The other one must go in here, and this 2 must be divided by 2.
X plus 1.
So that will turn into 1. So this will be basically 1 plus 1 will be there. What 2 values of x I get? I get either x plus 1 is equal to 0.
X equals to minus 1.
X equal to positive 5 divided by 2, which is 2.5.
Or x equals to minus 1.
X equal to negative 1. These two are the answers for this question. These two are the values of x. Good. Can you help me with this one? We need to express a root 3 plus root 12 in the form of root 3.
root 3 is equal to.
This can't be simplified at all, but this one can be written as a square number times
4 by 3.
4
times
times
4.
So which means this will become, this remains
3 plus root 3.
plus 2, yeah, 3 plus 2, 3.
And square root of 4 is 2, so 2 lots
Root 2.
3. And this is, if this, I don't know how many lots, it must be 1. 1 lot, 3 plus 2 lots, root 3.
3 root 3.
3.
root
3.
Yeah, that's the answer. Question 18, part B. Express 1 over square root of 3, all of that to the power of 7 in the form square root b over c, where b and c are integers. But first of all, we should know that if we got 1 over square root of 3, we can rationalize it by multiplying it by square root 3 divided by square root 3. 1 times the square root 3 will be just square root of 3. And in the bottom, we'll get square root 3 times by square root 3, which will be square root 3 squared, which means square and square root get cancelled. So we are left with square root 3 over just 3, which means I can write this as 1 over square root 3 as square root 3 over 3, square root 3 over 3, all of this to the power of 7. And then one of the rules is that, like if, say, for example, x to the power of square root of x and all of that to the power of m, it can be written as x to the power of m, all of this square root. So using this rule, we can write 3 to the power of 7 and square root from the top, and just 3 to the power of 7 in the bottom. On the top, I can write 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, and the bottom, and all of that is in the square root. And in the bottom, there is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Right, on the top, what we can do is, so we can see is that 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 3 is 9. So 3 pairs, I can get 9. But what's the square root of 9? Square root of 9 will be 3. So I can write this as 3. That will come out like 3 times 3, which is 9. Square root of 9 is 3. That will come outside, times the 3, times the 3. 3 3s will come out outside, and 1 3 will actually stay inside the square root, because there is no pair for this 3. And in the bottom, I've got 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so what we can do it now is I can cancel 3 with 3, 3, 3, this and 3, this and this. So 3 out of these 7 3s get cancelled with the 3 3s on the top. So now we are left with just square root 3 on the top. And in the bottom, I've got 3 times 3, which is 9, and 9 times 3 is 27, and 27 times 3 is 81. So that is my final answer, which means I can say that, looking at this, if I compare this with square root of b over c, so this means b must be 3, and c must be 81. Question number 19. Given that x squared minus 6x plus 1 equals x minus a all squared minus b for all values of x, find the values of a and b. Here, as we can see that on the right-hand side, the algebraic expression is written in the completed square form. So this is what we need to do on the left-hand side. Right, to complete the square, we start with a bracket, we write the variable without power, and then half of the coefficient of the middle term, half of minus 6 will be minus 3, bracket closed. Then we take away from this the square of this number. So take away the square of 3, which will be 9, or I can simply write like this, plus 1. And then this will give me x minus 3 all squared, minus 8 plus minus 9 plus 1 will give me minus 8. So this means that a must be 3 and b must be 8. Right, whenever something is written in the form x minus a squared minus b, turning point will be positive a comma minus b. Right, so here what we need to do is we need to write 3 as a positive number, change the sign of that, and outside of the bracket is minus 8, so that's why we write minus 8. H is inversely proportional to P, so what will I write, Naman?
Okay, so
H,
H equals to P over
K over
K over the P. T is directly proportional to the square root of T.
You
So
see, then you
T
said
equals
P
to
to
K square root of T.
K times by square root of T.
Yeah.
And then you are given the value of H is 10, so you write 10
So
equals.
H is 10 and T is 142 when P equals to 6. Yeah, so K
Yeah, so
over
which means
6.
you write K over 6. So what do you think K is equal to then?
Then you do K is 60.
Multiply both sides by 6. That would mean that
Yeah, so
this
60.
6 and 6 get cancelled. So what do you think K is equal to? K is equal to 60.
60.
So which means what we can do is I can substitute this value back in there. So I will get H is equal
H
to
equals to 60 over
60
P.
60
over
over P. And right, we also need to apply, substitute these values in here. When P is equal to 6, what is T equal to?
T equals to 144 square root.
44. So which means that will be 12K will be equal to 6. So what will be K equal to?
6 over 12,
Yeah, which is
which is a half.
a half or 0.5. Okay. So which means that I can write this like a relationship between P and T can be written as P equals what?
A half
K
square
is
root of T.
0.5 times square root of T. Okay. Right. So at the moment, if you see, we
Then
got
you do P over.
yeah. One second. We got like this and this. Okay. So can you tell me how can we link these two together?
You can substitute P with the value of P.
Yeah. So if you see that
Yeah,
P,
if you do
this is
60
P and
over
P is equal to that. So what I'm going to do is I will actually write. I will write H is equal to
60 over
divided by
0.5.
not P, but P is equal to 0.5 T. 0.5 square root T. And that will give me 120 square root T. Okay. So this is your, because 60 divided by half, Naman, I hope you understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Made a mistake. 120 over H will be
Root T, yeah.
square root of T. That will be my final answer. In question 21, please find this one. So how can we work out F inverse of X? I would like Margaret to help me. Margaret, how can work out inverse of a function? What do we say? We say let what? X equals the function by replacing the variable X with Y. So what should X be equal to then?
3y minus
3y minus 1. And can you help me make Y the subject?
1. You plus 1 on both sides.
So X plus 1 will be 2.
And then you divide it by 3.
We divide both sides by 3. And what will we get?
X plus 1 over 3.
Okay. And this means that F inverse of X is actually equal to X plus 1 over 3. Right. Okay. For part B, what we need to do is we need to actually show that if F of X is equal to that and G of X is equal to that, we need to show that F G of X is equal to 2G of X can be written as 15x squared minus 12x minus 1 equals 0. Right. So we are just going to do this.
So you basically talk about G of X, which is
So I'm just going to write
put G into F.
like, first of all, how can I work out FG of X? Guys, any idea? FG of X.
So you basically get G and put it into F,
Like into F of X, you substitute whole of G of X.
which is just 3
That means
times
like,
X squared
wherever
plus
there is
4 minus 1.
X, okay, I will write 3 times by X squared plus 4.
That's 4.
Minus 3 is
Yeah.
plus 4.
Yeah, and that will actually give me what?
Equal
That will
to-
give me 3x squared
minus 1.
plus 12 minus
12.
1.
Plus 12, okay.
Plus
Yes.
12 minus 1 will be minus plus 11.
11.
Right, and then we also work out 2 times. First of all, I would like to work out GF of x. GF of x is the same thing
Let's
as
print F into G.
into G of x, you substitute whole of f of x.
Which is
And
this.
what you do is, because then
3x minus 1 squared plus
3x
that would
minus
be
1 squared.
3x minus 1 all squared
4.
plus 4. And this will actually, if I expand this, I'll get 3x squared minus 6x plus
Is it
1
9x squared?
plus 4. Oh,
Plus.
yes, thanks for correcting me. Mushtabah, it will become 9x squared. 9x
Yeah.
squared. And then it simplifies to what then? It actually simplifies to 9x squared minus 6x plus 5. Okay? And then we need to work out, what do you think that if gf of x is equal to this, what will be 2 gf of x equal to? That will be just 2 times.
double it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 2 times by 9x squared minus 6x plus 5. I will actually, I will get 18x squared minus 12x plus 10. And we are going to set this thing equal to that thing. Is that right?
Yeah.
So basically, what we are going to do is we are going to set these two equal to each other. So I will write 18x squared minus 12x plus 10 is equal to 3x squared minus 11. And if we take the 3x squared from both sides, we'll get 15x squared. And if we take away, okay, minus 12x, and if we take away 11, if we add 11, oh, what mistake have we made?
It's plus 11.
There is plus 11. And if we take away 11 from both sides, we'll get minus 1. And
Because
that's 0
No, you just
as required.
There are only R red counters and G green counters in a bag. A counter is taken at random from the bag. The probability that the counter is green is 3/7. The counter is put back in the bag. 2 more red counters and 3 more green counters are put in the bag. A counter is taken at random from the bag. The probability that the counter is green is 6/13. Find the number of red counters and the number of green counters that were in the bag originally.
Right, okay, so looking at this one here, it looks like if the probability that the counter is green, oh, I think green is 3, so what we need to do is we need to write 3 there, 4 there. Tell me what's harm if I write 3 and 4 exactly?
It's not because
Which
of
is going to tell me what's harm in writing 3 and 4 there?
the probability is given then, like 3 and 4.
Yeah, but that's right, 3, okay?
But it's 3 out of 7, which is not 4.
Yes, Mir is telling me that these, like, I know that this is the probability, but this could only be could also be, not only be, also be maybe 30 out of like 30 and 40. They simplified to 3/7. It could be 6 and 8. Okay, it could be any multiple of 3 and 4. Is that right? So any idea what should we use here then? Instead of writing 3 and 4, what should we write? It's a very technical point. Like, if you understand this point, I think then the problem is solved. Then I would say it's a grade 4 question if you can solve this problem. The remaining part will be really, really easy. Grade 4, 5 question. Any idea what can I do to solve the problem of like any multiples of 3 and any multiples of 4? We can call
Like put it ratio.
x. And we can
Add 2 and 3.
okay. Understand? And you can think that x is a number which is like multiple. Okay, whatever that number is, that multiple has to be the same. Okay. If x is 2, it could be 2 in both of them. If x is 3, that will be 3. So both of them, they remain unaffected. And then it says how many more counters are added? 2 more red counters are added. So which means 4x plus 2. And 3 more green counters are added. So 3x plus 3. And what happens now? Then it says a counter is taken. Now the probability is what?
6 out of 13.
Green. The probability of green is what? Is 6 out of 13.
Out of 13.
How many, like at the moment, if you see, what's the probability, like, what should be the probability in terms of x? That should be 3x plus 3 out of what? Don't think 4x plus 2. What do you think that's?
7x plus 5.
Add them together, add both of these together.
7x plus
7x 5.
That will be 7x plus
5.
And if we multiply both sides by what? 7x plus 5 and times by 13, you will actually, we can use American method here. They call it cross multiply.
Oh.
That will be 39 plus 39. And 7x times by, this will be, what mistake have I made? It should be 39x plus 39.
39
that should
is
be
equal to
42x plus 30.
30.
What you can do is take away 39x from both sides, you'll get 3x there, and take away 30 from both sides, you'll get 9 there.
No.
That means x must be 3 then. If x is 3, what does this mean? How many green counters are there? 3 times 3, 9.
9.
And how many red counters are there? 12. I hope you liked the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done already. Thank you.